Hello Sagittarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is your weekly tarot forecast. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And that way you won't miss any of the future readings that we do for your sign here on the channel. So let's find out, what is the message, what is the energy, what is coming through, what is your situation this week, all right? Let's get to the bottom of things and find out what you need to know about this coming week. First card today. All right, well, we have this Knight of Swords. Now, what are they doing here? Let's lay out the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. And this is, of course, going to include this mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, whatever you want to call it. We're going to leave that right here. We're not going to reveal that until the very end. So stick around to the end of the video. And hopefully that will, tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end, okay? So I see, we see right off the bat these two court cards. We've got a Knight of Swords and a Prince of Discs. And I wonder who these people are in your life. I wonder if these are some kind of work associates. We see, there's another court card here too. So it seems like this situation this week is really going to involve a lot of people. It feels like there's a few different personalities involved here, right? And looking at these other cards, let's see, we've got a little bit of air, we've got some water, we've got quite a bit of earth, really. Not a ton of fire. So I think there's something going on with this group of people that you're associated with, particularly these two folks. I think one might be an air sign, one might be an earth sign, okay? But if you aren't aware of their astrological placements, what I'm learning is that most of us don't really know what everyone else's astrological placements are. So I think in this instance, this air sign person is going to be an older male energy, possibly, but someone who is very direct, very to the point, likes to give orders, right? Likes to come in kind of a hustle and a hurry, just give a bunch of orders, say a bunch of things, give a lot of opinions, really, tell people what they think, and then they leave again. It's kind of a very quick energy, right? It's just in, they cause a disruption, and then they're out, okay? And then this next person, this Prince of Discs, this is somebody who's actually there in the trenches, getting their hands dirty, doing the work day after day, very laborious, right? Very just hardworking, right? And it's just consistent and maybe a little bit slow, but they are focused on their work and they just do it day in, day out in a very tactile way, very physical way, right? And I think these two people are, in some way, they're impacting your life this week. And maybe we can find out if this is a work situation, if this is something to do with your domestic life. I kind of think this is a work deal, and we'll come back to these court cards in a few moments. But first, I want to address the recent past, which is this Ace of Swords. I feel like there was some kind of big idea that you had recently. Maybe you took the initiative and you started some new project. You had this really great idea, right? And now you're trying to put it into practice. You're trying to get the ball rolling, but you're kind of coming up against these two people. One, this opinionated Knight of Swords who is just kind of rushes in, disrupts everything, gives their opinion, doesn't really slow down to really talk this thing out or to understand or to listen, really. They rush in, they talk a lot, and then they leave. And nothing really gets done, right? They have to express their opinion and then they're out. So this could be like a supervisor type of person or some kind of an older figure. I feel this sense of authority, like they're that manager that just kind of comes in, tells everybody what they think, and then they leave again. But they're not really involved in the day-to-day. Not like this person. This person's the one involved in the day-to-day aspect of this, right? But I feel like you're involved here, and you've had this great idea, or you've brought this new initiative, this new plan, this new something, right? You've brought to the table in probably an employment, career, work situation. Okay. I feel like there's this new idea on the table, and it really involves you trying to get the cooperation of everybody, particularly management, I would say, to kind of implement your idea, implement this new process, this new product, this new idea that you have. Okay. And this is, Ace of Swords. This is a good idea. I think this is something that you really believe in, something that you really feel strongly about, that this is a good idea and it really should be implemented. It feels like your obstacles, though, this week, in particular, are this air sign person or this, like I said, this older, maybe authoritative kind of figure, supervisor, boss, manager, whatever, that comes in, kind of just causes a disruption, right? They come in and they just have to kind of mess with everything, right? Flip through the paperwork, and then they just leave. And when they leave, everything's just in disarray, right? It's that kind of energy, kind of a chaotic energy, but just they cause some trouble, and then they're out again. So it's one of those kinds of supervisors or managers, is what I'm feeling. But I think you have a good chance to partner up with this person who really enjoys like getting down and dirty and really getting to, the meat of things and really taking things apart and putting them back together and figuring things out. So I think this is the person that you're going to have to bring this good idea to. And they're going to be the ones that really are going to help you out with this, right? Whatever this big idea is. And again, I think this is in the workplace. I see in the immediate future, we do have that cooperation. We have the Hierophant card. So I'm just going to cut right to it and just say, yeah, I think this is going to work out. I think your big idea is going to get the approval and the cooperation of everyone else. It's just, there seems to be a couple of obstacles in the way, particularly that Knight of Swords. But at the end, you're going to have that cooperation. I think everybody's going to be on board with your plan because they're going to recognize that it is going to be a good plan. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing as far as, the chronological kind of order of events, what's happening in a linear fashion, the good idea, trying to get the cooperation, and then at the end, yeah, everything's going to come together and they're going to be able to implement this with you. And I think you're going to get the recognition that you really deserve because of this thing, especially considering that we have the Wheel of Fortune card at the top of the Path of the Dove. And this card is kind of the whole reading in a nutshell, right? What is this reading really about? And, it's about this idea, getting the cooperation, implementing this new initiative that you have or whatever it is. And that's important, and that's really, really good. And I think it's, it shows a great ambition on your part, right? But then we have this Wheel of Fortune. So I think what is really going on with you this week is this sense like you've been kind of down, like you've been, you just haven't had the best luck lately, right? You've been waiting for that one opportunity. You've been waiting for that one good idea that will kind of turn things around for you in terms of your business or your career, or your finances. I think that's where we're headed with this. I think that's kind of the domain that we're looking into today. And I think things are really starting to turn around for you. I think this new idea is what you've been waiting for. And I feel like this is the turning point for you. Okay, I think you've been waiting for things to turn around. You've been waiting for that increase in success or luck, or just the right timing, the right harmony, the right kind of alignment of forces and energies in order to kind of to push you further on your path of success, right? You've been waiting for things to turn around, waiting for that good idea. And I think the good news is that good idea is coming. This may not be something that you've had yet. You may not have formulated this idea fully. It could still be kind of up in the air, kind of in the clouds, so to speak. But I think this Ace of Swords event is coming if it has not already. You're going to have that great idea, that great initiative, that new product, that new plan, that new that new idea that you're going to bring to the table, and you're going to get the cooperation of the other people involved, and it's going to be a success. Okay. And I think that really is the beginning of this turnaround for you. Things are going to start improving. Things are going to start getting better. You're going to start to see more synchronicity, more harmony, more flow with your life now. And it's going to be something that I think builds up momentum. With this new idea, this is just the beginning, right? But it's going to snowball into something great, and you're going to continue to have these kinds of successes on a larger and larger scale, right? And that's the feeling that I'm getting with this Wheel of Fortune card. So this is really, really good news. Now, another card we see on the vertical axis of the path of the dove here is the Eight of Cups. This is down here beneath the surface, below everything else. What is all of this kind of resting on? Well, this is resting on, honestly, the only water that we have in the reading today so far. And this is really emphasizing the lack of water, right? Because even in this card, though this is an Eight of Cups, this is showing that the water has been draining from this situation, from your life, from your consciousness, right? So I think this is indicating that there has been this lack of joy, lack of connection. You're kind of losing heart. And I think it's literally connected because of the path that it's on here, the alignment of the cards. But even if we think about it, it is really related to this, what you consider to be this lack of progress that you've been making, right? You've been waiting for that good idea. You've been looking for things to turn around. But you've been having kind of some bad luck, really. I don't know how else to put it. Things have just not been that successful for you lately. And I think that is directly leading to this kind of lack of heart. You're losing faith. You're losing optimism. And I think that this is really representative of the absence of this emotional connection with the work that you're doing right now. I think that's changing. Like I said, I think with this new idea, you're really starting this snowball effect that's going to just lead to greater and greater things. Okay. But currently, there has been a lack of emotional connection, a lack of joy, pleasure, satisfaction in this work that you're doing. I think more on a subconscious level even, you're starting to just feel not interested. You kind of don't give a damn about this work anymore. Maybe this, this company that you're in, this group of people that you're in business with, this business that you're running, whatever the case is, you're losing heart. You're losing a little bit of that connection with it. Maybe it was something that at one time gave you tremendous joy. But since things have not been going so well, that joy is almost gone. It's draining from these cups. And the cups themselves are chipped, broken, leaking, and it just looks a little dismal. Okay. I think this is something that is going on, like I said, beneath the surface. It's something that you probably feel. You could acknowledge it if you were to think about it and recognize it. But on a day-to-day basis, you might not really be thinking consciously or reflecting on that fact that you're just losing this joy and connection with this work that you're doing. You're starting to lose heart. But the saving grace, the good news here is that this great idea is coming. This is like a renewal of that vitality, of that kind of intellectual, innovative spirit, right? It's going to be that great idea. And I'm really curious what kind of business you're in or what kind of work you're doing or what this great idea is that you're looking for, or maybe you've already had this revelation. So leave me some comments. Let me know how you feel. Let me know a little bit about what's going on. You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I do like hearing from you all. And I'm very curious what some of these projects, these plans, what might be going on with some of this energy. But like I said, the good news is that this Eight of Cups situation is seeming like it's going to be it's going to be fixed. It's going to be rectified, right? You're going to get that joy and pleasure back in this work that you're doing. And that's going to come, initially, I know I'm repeating myself, but initially that's going to come through this great idea, this revelation, this epiphany, this new innovation, this kind of light bulb that goes off above your head. And you're just like, why didn't I think of that sooner? Well, that's perfect. And that's going to give you more joy. That's going to kind of start building up your enthusiasm, right? And especially when you when you secure the cooperation of these people, and, we've got the Hierophants, so we know that cooperation is coming. But it may just be an obstacle of getting through, particularly, like I said, to this Knight of Swords, he feels like kind of a pompous person, right? He comes in, wants to flip over all the paperwork and just mess up all the work and criticize and then leave. Doesn't really help, right? But I feel like that's kind of who this person is. And this is someone you either got to get past, got to get rid of, have to go around this person, go over their head. This is not a productive person, I don't think, but you might be able to win them over, right? You might be able to win them over with that great idea and with the cooperation and support of this earth sign person, or the person that's actually down there on the floor doing the work. With their support, maybe the two of you can go and get the cooperation of everyone else, of the upper management or your direct supervisors, whatever the case is. And so I'm very excited about that. I think that this is going to be a really great opportunity for you, right? It's going to be beneficial on so many levels for you, especially with this Eight of Cups. I don't like this being the only water card here, and I'm calling right now that this confirmation card, this mystery card, I'm pretty sure that's going to be some water. That's going to be some kind of water card, all right? Because the water that we have now is just pretty dismal and dark, and I don't like it. But this is the state of things. I think this happens to all of us at some point, especially those of us that, that work, that have to be employed somewhere. Especially, it's not always the most fulfilling or joyous relationship that we have when we're working for someone else. I think we're very lucky if we can find a job or a career, or, a path of employment that really is fulfilling and really brings us that joy. I think we're very lucky if we can have that. And I think a lot of us maybe choose not to recognize that we don't feel that joy and that connection, because then, like I said in the reading, I think for Scorpio yesterday, that it's just, if we acknowledge and dwell on those negative feelings and how miserable we are doing what we're doing, it's just going to amplify that misery. So sometimes it's best to just forget the misery, try to focus on what we do like about the situation. But in this case, for this reading, Sagittarius, I think it's kind of going the other way. I think you need to recognize that you've lost a little bit of heart, that you've lost a little bit of joy and satisfaction in this work, because I think you at one time had it. And now it's time to try to get that back. Okay? So let's move on now to the path of the Serpent, because I'm really curious about these cards, about this energy. And I'm very excited about this confirmation card. We're not going to look at that until the end. Stick around. Leave me some comments and let me know, right now what you think that confirmation card will be. I know this is not a live reading, but it still might be fun for you to throw some guesses out there. And I can look at it after this reading is published. Okay. So the first card on the path of the Serpent is representing your overall energy. Right, your general kind of aura right now. And that's the Justice card, or the Adjustment card, as it's also called. I think this really is your focus on getting the cooperation, getting the commitment from these other people. Okay. I think this is also you feeling the obligation to this business, this company, this project, this contract, whatever it is that you're working on, right? Whatever the path of the dove situation is. And I don't know the exact details, obviously. But I think you're very much focused on your obligation to that project or to that situation, that company, whatever it is. I think you feel a sense of responsibility. Maybe you are under contract with them. You know, maybe despite the loss of enthusiasm or the lack of joy or pleasure that you're getting from this work, you understand that you're still obligated to do it. Right? And like I said, on the other side of this card is all about trying to secure the cooperation, the agreement, the support from these people that are involved. That you're trying to get them on board with your idea. And that's kind of what you're focused on. Maybe you're focused on this strategy of how to approach them, how to pitch your idea, right? How to convince or persuade them to come over to your side, right? To get on board with you. And I think they will. I think with this Hierophant card here, this is all but guaranteed. I think I'm fairly confident that you will get the cooperation that you're looking for, right? And again, this might not have happened yet because this is a projected reading for this coming week. So it could be that you're still in the beginning stages of getting this idea, of receiving this kind of revelation, this light bulb moment. So it could be that this is all still in the works, but this is the energy that I see and this is how it's flowing. And I think that you're going to have that perfect strategy of how to pitch this idea, how to convince people, persuade these folks to get on board with you. And with this Hierophant card, yeah, they're going to. They're going to be on board with you. Maybe not right away. It may take a little bit of convincing. Like I said, it may take a little bit of persuasion. But I think they're gonna see the light, right? And no pun intended. They're going to see the light that you saw, and they're going to be on board with your idea. Okay. And now the next card that we see, this is representing your relationships right now. Okay, and this is obviously this is a Prince of Wands. This is a very fiery kind of energy. And this fiery energy could be expressed because this is a prince. This is the airy aspect of that fire person, that fiery energy, right? This could be expressed in your relationships as impatience, short-temperedness. And I wonder if, because of what's going on here on the path of the dove, primarily because of what we see on the vertical axis, this Eight of Cups and this Wheel of Fortune, right? Feeling that things are just low. Things are not going the way you want them to. You're starting to lose heart. You really need things to turn around. That situation and that feeling may be leading to a little bit of aggression in your relationships, short-temperedness, right? A little bit of impatience, agitation, a little bit of anxiety that's being expressed in your other relationships, your personal relationships, okay? So the people around you that are close to you, either people you live with, your friends, your family, your significant other, they are recognizing that something's going on with you. They can see that your mood has changed, right? You're seem a little bit more agitated, a little bit more on edge than you usually are. Right, so it's kind of the more shadow aspects of that Sagittarius fire are kind of coming out, right? And this is just something to be aware of. Maybe you could kind of get this in check before it gets out of hand, right? If this is something that you are just now kind of starting to realize, or other people in your life are starting to notice, maybe it's a good time to get a handle on that, right? I think it's very easy to let our work frustrations kind of bleed over into our personal relationships. And I think that's what's going on here. But again, not to worry, because that revelation is coming. This good idea, this renewal of this energy and enthusiasm is coming, okay? But for now, just be aware of how this might be affecting your other relationships with this aggression, anxiety, short-temperedness, or some impatience in these other relationships. Okay. And now the next card that we see is really interesting. This is in the position of your fears, worries, concerns. What is causing you anxiety? What is going to be the kind of the worry in the future, right? A little bit down the road. Well, it's this Four of Discs. This is the safety, security, stability of your health, your wealth, your fitness, your finances. This is that foundation of your life in terms of your financial security, that foundation. So I think the real issue here is, this job security, right? This project that you're working on, or this company that you're with, or this business that you're running, right? This could be your business. The real kind of objective, or the real kind of worry here really, is that you need this to be a stable, long-term gig, right? You need this to pay the bills continuously for a long time. You want it to have longevity. You want to stick with this for a long time. And so it's difficult to do that when you don't have your heart in it anymore. It's hard to really stick with doing this thing, this company, this work, this career, whatever it is. It's hard to stick with that if you're not really feeling it, if your heart's not in it anymore. So that's the concern here, that, you don't want to get to that point where you do something a little hasty, a little impulsive, and maybe leave, go in a different direction, because that's going to jeopardize this longevity, this security, stability that you have now. But at the same time, you can't continue to do this and to ensure this stability and longevity if your heart's not in it. Eventually people are going to notice, right? The quality of your work could suffer, etc., etc. We don't need to go into it. But this is the issue, I think, that kind of needs to get past. You need to get through this dilemma. And again, I think that what we see on the path of the dove with this new idea, this cooperation, this renewed energy, enthusiasm, right? Your heart's going to be in it again. And so this is going to kind of take care of itself, right? So we can move past this card. Now, the next card, don't be alarmed. It's the Seven of Discs. The keyword for this card, is failure. That's right, failure. So how does all of this energy lead to failure, right? Well, this card is in some ways all about the triumphing over failure. This is kind of the fear of failure, right? The seven. Sevens are all about how to be victorious, right? How to triumph over our dilemmas, our obstacles, our opposition. How to triumph over these circumstances. Well, I think, again, this is going to kind of take care of itself. With your renewed heart, enthusiasm, ambition, with this new revelation, this aha moment, this new idea, this new initiative, I think you are going to realize that you are successful. And not only successful in keeping this secure, stable financial foundation, right? A lot of alliterations there. Not only are you going to have the financial, stability, and you're going to be victorious, you're going to triumph over that concern, but you're going to triumph over this feeling that you are not doing something that you connect with. And that's where I think we're going to see the water over here in the mystery card. Because I think that you're triumphing over this fear of failure, or this sense of failure and disconnect. So you're going to be doing this work not just for the financial security and stability, for that too, of course, but not only for that. You're also doing this work because you love it, because your heart is in it, because you feel the joy. The Seven of Discs is also about doing work for work's sake, and not for the financial gain, right? Not for the physical results. Doing this work for more subtle, more kind of deep, more beneath the surface, more spiritual reasons. Getting more fulfillment out of this work than just the Four of Discs, the stability, financial security, etc. So this really is telling me that there is some water here somewhere. There is this connection that's going to happen. Your heart will be in it again. And that's where you're going to really feel this success, and this failure is not going to be even an issue. It's not, there's going to be no concern for that. Even if, God forbid, you get demoted or you lose your job or it just doesn't pay the bills anymore, that's going to be a secondary concern. The primary focus is you're doing something you love. Your heart is back in it again. Because I did say at the beginning that it feels like at one time you had a lot of joy in this work. You really did love it. But then somehow you lost that feeling. Somehow all that water started draining out of this situation, this company, this career, this business, whatever. But I think you're getting that back. And I think the focus, while you are going to take care of this Four of Discs, I want to emphasize this and repeat this, this is going to be taken care of. The financial stability and security is there. But now you can start to realize that there's more to this work than just paying the bills, more than just the paycheck. It has to be fulfilling and joyful in other ways. And I think you're going to realize that. I think you're going to get that. But let's find out with this mystery card. I know I've built this up now, and watch, it's probably not going to be water at all. If it's not a water card, what could it be? Six of Discs, maybe. I think that would be Six of Discs would be appropriate here. Could be something like the Emperor or the Empress. Could be the World card or the Universe card. Could be the Fool. I don't know. It could be anything. But I think it's water or something connected with water, because we're trying to reestablish this emotional connection, this joy. We're trying to get your heart back in it, right? Well, it's not water. It's not water. It's the Ten of Wands. This is fire. This is, maybe this is just as good as the water cards. Considering that, obviously we're talking to Sagittarius, right? And so we needed some of that fire. We needed some of that Sagittarian fire, but not in its negative expression. Not in its negative expression. Not the short-temperedness, not the agitation or the anxiety, right? Not the impatience. We need this fully realized, fully manifested fire energy, Ten of Wands. This is such spiritual vitality and energy and enthusiasm and a real fiery spiritual connection that's so abundant within you that you can't help but express that to other people, okay? So maybe this really is the connection that we were looking for. Maybe the water wasn't the key to it after all. Maybe the water would be too incompatible with you. And because you're a Sagittarius, maybe it is that fire and that water wouldn't really mix with you in this situation. Maybe it's not that sentimental kind of, water energy, that kind of love feeling, right? Maybe it's more of an energetic, of an ambition and enthusiasm, a spiritual fire and vitality. Maybe that is the connection that you really need, that you're really looking for. Okay? So I think I like it when the tarot proves me wrong or corrects me, because I'm not trying to put in my personal opinions here. Okay? I'm trying to receive the message and express it to you the best that I can. And this is a perfect example of me attempting to interject my personal beliefs or opinions. And the tarot says, no, Paul, wait a minute. You're not in charge here. Okay? This energy is what is in charge. And I think this fire energy, this Wands energy, is really the kind of connection that you need or that you're looking for. It's the more energetic, not the passive or magnetic water, sentimental maybe, just feeling of love and just kind of joy and that feel-good kind of energy. This is a more powerful, ambitious, vital energy This is that fiery spiritual energy that is just, this is joy, but a more active joy, a more ambitious, gonna go out there and conquer the world kind of joy and happiness. So different than water, right? This is that fiery energy that goes out and makes things happen. And this is so abundant, again, that you feel that you are just giving off this light and heat to other people. It's very generous. You have an abundance of this feeling. And everybody in your life is going to see that. And they're going to really feel it and absorb it. And you're just going to be a beacon of inspiration to people. And you're going to have so much of this vital energy, this spiritual fire, that you're going to be very giving, very generous with it. Other people are going to feel this warmth from you. And it's going to be like infectious. You know, your enthusiasm is going to really inspire other people. And this is a good confirmation. This is the confirmation that we should have been expecting all along. And now I'm very curious to look in the comments to see how many of you were expecting there to be some fire in the mystery card today. And I'm very excited that there was some fire. We're going to take a look at this a little bit more in the extended version. You can become a member to the channel by clicking on the link down in the description box, and I encourage you to do so. The best way to support this channel is to, of course, hit the like button, of course, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and then also share this video on your social media. That would really help us out. And again, if this resonates with you, and you want to see the extended versions, become a member to this channel. I think it's a very modest price. I've looked at some of these other tarot channels. $10, $20, $30 to become a member. That's too rich for my blood. I try to keep it as low as YouTube will let me go to give you the extended versions. So we're going to do that right now. This was your weekly tarot forecast on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Thank you so much.